Alright everyone, I went onto my computer to browse the internet and I found that my connection is all screwed up, so thought I may as well make another tutorial. This is actually not going to be as much of a tutorial as just a video where I'll be just making some random edit and I'll be kind of doing like a commentary over it, live of course. So this isn't really a tutorial, but I don't know, call it whatever you want. It has to do with keyframes though, so I recommend that you watch my previous tutorial, basic keyframing for beginners in Vegas Pro 10. But so that being said, I hope that you have some knowledge of keyframing before watching this video. Not that you're really going to learn anything. So let's do something kind of cool. Let's go to media generators. I'm there by default. Let's pick something kind of different. I'm not in the mood for any noise text. Let's just go to checkerboard. And let's take large tiles. So here is our checkerboard and we have all of the options here and our keyframes are here of course. So let's not keyframe anything right now. Let's go to our event pan / crop tool and we'll do some keyframing here. Let's see, how long is this video clip? This is about 10 seconds, or 10 seconds exactly. So let's go to the end of the keyframes and let's just zoom in to one of these black checkers. So it'll be panning and zooming at the same time. And there we go. So let's see this keyframe. Oh, it looks all jittery right now, but that's just because of my preview quality. It's at draft right now because my computer's a little slow, but if I put it to preview, it'll be smoother, as you can see. So let's just keep it at preview. So it'll zoom in onto one of those checkers, and to enhance the effect, let's go to video effects and try something like convolution kernel bump. What is that going to do? Okay, that did shit all. Let's try bump map upper right glow. This will be interesting. So we have a little spotlight now, and we can also keyframe this spotlight. We can put a keyframe wherever we want. I'll just put it at the end, of course. And then we have this little option here. We can basically position the spotlight, and you can also increase or decrease the strength of the light, probably the color. I'll just do random stuff, see what we get. And now we have it zooms in, and you can't really see it, but our spotlight is moving around the checkerboard. And the good thing about that effect, bump map, is that it kind of adds more of a realistic feel to your media generator. You can see that if I remove this, let me remove the bump map, it looks kind of cartoony, and that's because it pretty much is. But if you add actually let's do lower left. If you add like a different one, it'll look more realistic. And that's not just because of the light, but it adds like an interesting texture. It's kind of hard to explain, but you can see it here. It just looks more realistic. But it's a better example with the upper right glow. So let's grab upper right glow, keyframe to the very end, and then we'll move this spotlight pretty far and increase the intensity. And now let's see what we get. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. Now let's see what else we can do here. Let's just look at our media generator, and we can adjust the colors and etc. here. So let's just do a keyframe to the end, of course. I'm just going to do all these keyframes to the end just to keep things consistent. And let's just change color 1 to white and then color 2 to black. So basically it's inverting the colors. So that's kind of an interesting effect, but I don't know, I don't really like it, but I guess we'll work with it. And to do something else, let's split this clip somewhat in the middle. So just click and hit S on your keyboard, and let's go to our transitions, and let's get a basic transition here, like not page roll, iris, flash. Let's do a soft flash, or no, let's try yellow flash. And just drag that in between the two, and let's see what we get. So yeah, in case you haven't already figured out, this video is just basically using your imagination to create stuff. And keep in mind that I haven't been doing this recently, so my imagination is quite limited. But I'm pretty satisfied with this very, very simple animation. Didn't take any effort or any thinking, I just kind of threw stuff together and I got an effect that I'm somewhat happy with. So let's add some text now. We can right click and hit insert video track, but you should probably get in the habit of just doing the keyboard shortcut, which is Control Shift Q, and that will automatically create a video track. So here's our track. Now let's get some text. In case I didn't know, that's in the media generators, and you got your text, or you can just right click and hit insert text media, but I'd prefer to just do it the other way. So we have our text here, sample text. It's nice to create intros and have custom fonts. You can get these from websites like defont.com. I have a few, and I have a tutorial on this too. I don't know what any of these look like because I don't really do custom fonts anymore. Let's try this. Let's try Resident Evil, and I'll just say Techtopia Tutorials. And I'm almost certain that I've used this font in a previous video. So I can Control A to select all. That's another tip I can give you. Instead of selecting it manually like that, just hit Control A and it'll select it all, in case you didn't already know. And of course, like with everything else, you can keyframe it. You can keyframe, your placements, the color, if there's a glow or an outline or a shadow or something. And let's just make this black text because it stands out more. And I think we're not going to keyframe the placements or the properties or anything. We're just going to have these normal. However, what we are going to do is keyframe this pan and crop. So let's have it extremely large and up here at the corner of this T. And then what we can do is keyframe it to the end and make it more normal. Actually, you could just right click it and hit restore, and it'll do that. So this is what it's going to look like at the end. So I might have to do a round preview for this. Oh no, it's looking pretty good. Techtopia Tutorials. So of course that's very, very simple to do. Now I'm just going to do one more thing, and it's going to be a pretty poor effect because Sony Vegas isn't good for this, but I'll do it anyways. I'm going to go here to about the last frame, and you could just use your arrow keys to select your frames. You don't need to be precise with it. So, and if you look here at the time, you'll see that when I hit the arrows, it goes up or down in increments of 3. Like, look, 820, 823, 826. If you want to be more precise, just zoom in with your mouse wheel, and then you can do it in increments of 1. So let's get to the final frame. Okay. Okay, this is actually the second last frame. So here is what it looks like at the end. Now if I go up here, I can hit Save Snapshot to File, and it'll just create a JPEG, and you can basically put it into your timeline. And the cool thing is it automatically imports it into your project media bin, so you don't need to do that yourself. So now I'm just going to let's just make a new video track to make things cleaner. I'm going to grab this JPEG and put it at the very end, so you should get an effect that looks like this. Where basically it holds it there. So now let's just work with this final image and we'll see. So I'm gonna go to my event pan and crop, and I'm actually gonna create a hold keyframe here at the 2-second mark. And this is intermediate / advanced keyframing technique. I'm not even that good at it, but what you do is you create a keyframe at, let's say, the 2-second mark, then you would right click it and hit hold, and it'll turn your keyframe red, and then it'll basically make anything before that hold keyframe is basically non-existent, so it's hard to explain. I probably won't even get it right here. But you have your hold keyframe there, then we have our new keyframe, and let's just zoom in all the way. And let's see, it probably didn't even work. So 2 seconds and then zoom in. Okay, it didn't work. See, I need to work on my advanced keyframing. Oh, that's because this one's advanced. Or I mean, this one's a hold, so if we change this to linear, it should work. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, sorry about that. So, there we go. One more thing. Let's add a color filter on here, like color corrector or color curves. Is there one called saturation? Yeah, saturation adjust. We could boost the midtones here. Okay, no, I'm not going to do that. I want to basically fade it to white. Major purple. Alright, I'm bored. Let's work with major purple. So let's go to reset to none. Animate keyframe at the 2-second mark. 2 seconds right there. And insert a keyframe. Then make a keyframe at the end, and let's make this very purple. Sometimes it's fun to just mess around with the effects. You don't need to like actually know what you're doing for it to look cool. So this is going to zoom in right about now, and it's changing to purple. And why not just add one more thing to make this interesting. So let's create another save snapshot to file, and of course it'll automatically import it, and then put it on its own video track. And now we have this nice looking purple color. And then of course let's get some text, and I'm just going to get my default text, and I'm going to say subscribe, and select all. Let's pick a new font. Ooh, what's this one? Birth of a Hero. Okay, that's too dark and kind of crazy. Blade 2? No thank you. David? It's not even working. Fang Song? Okay, we'll do this one. I like this. I'll increase the size to... Okay, that's way too big. Let's try 216. Nope. 126. There we go. So here's our font, and let's just trim this a bit. And I'm going to fade this to about 1 second and fade it out. And I'll actually fade everything out. So a 1 second, or approximately 1 second fade. So here is what we have. Just very simple stuff. And let's just fade this in too. So go up to your top right corner, or top left, and you can just create a fade. Let's just do something less than 1 second. Okay, so let's see what we got. Hopefully, I'll just put on draft, but so you'll see that jittering again, but just remember that that's not actually what's happening. So you see this jittering, and our text comes in, flash, it's still coming in, and low quality image zooms in, turns to purple, and then it'll say subscribe. And fade out, and that'll end our little creation. And that's only about 20 seconds long. So I think that for a half-assed attempt, that's a mediocre intro that you can create. It'd be kind of cool if you had some music to go along. I'll do my own soundtrack right here. Dun 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 dun. Okay, so that concludes today's video. Call it a tutorial, call it a half-assed attempt at a video, call it whatever you want. I'm going to cut it off here and try and fix my internet. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.